There are a few Jordan Brand colorways that have reached just legendary and iconic status, like the Jordan 1 Chicago's, Jordan 3 Black and White Cement, Jordan 4 Bread. That's just to name a few. I know there's more, and it's always exciting to see a legend return. But sometimes a legend returns with a bit of a twist. Air Jordan 11 Bread Velvet. The shoe is dropping on November 11th for a whopping and ridiculous, honestly ridiculous, $230. It is a woman's exclusive. And of course the bread colorway on the 11s was an OG colorway. And I think out of all the OG 11s, the bread is definitely my favorite. As a black sneaker lover, I just gravitate towards this color blocking and I love how it looks on this silhouette. Love it, love it, love it. I know the Columbias or Legend Blue are coming back later this year. Very excited for that shoe. But in terms of just the colorway, not like taking into account the difference in materials, just comparing bread versus Columbia, I'm definitely taking the bread. I think it's just an elite, legendary, beautiful, scrumptious colorway. And of course, we have seen velvet on the 11s before. It's nothing new. Like in 2016, we had that maroon one. Can't remember what people were calling it. And we had the midnight navies in 2022. The last time we saw the Jordan 11 bread colorway come back was in 2019. Obviously, this time they changed it up. You don't see leather or ballistic nylon mesh on this shoe. And first impressions of the Jordan 11 bread velvet, like I alluded to at the intro of my video, I'm pretty open-minded when it comes to like swapping out materials as long as it looks and feels nice. But there's something about the bread 11s I just prefer it in its original form. I don't love how the velvet looks with these colors on this shoe. So yeah, it's hard not to compare it to the just original 11 breads, which is just one of my favorite shoes ever. So I don't love the material change here. And of course, this is a woman's exclusive, so women might find this material a little bit more appealing. The velvet does aim to go for like a upscale type of premium aesthetic. But just speaking for myself, even though I may not be like the target audience or target demographic, I can't say I absolutely love it. Love the brick colorway, but in combination with the materials as a whole package, yeah, I prefer the original. In the upper of the shoe, it is completely velvet. Of course, that is the point of this shoe. So it replaces the usual ballistic nylon mesh as well as the patent leather that you see on general release Jordan 11s. I've never really loved patent leather, but it is a very distinct quality of the 11s. So anytime you don't see that, you do notice it. It is a noticeable difference. And I'm not gonna pretend like I'm some expert in like velvet, but just to the touch, like gut reaction, gut instinct, I don't love how this velvet feels on this shoe. Kind of feels like, I don't know, felt like just doesn't feel that good. I might be wrong. Some like velvet expert might say this is like the most elite quality, just premium velvet that you'll ever find. I highly doubt it, but it could be. I could be wrong, but just gut instinct, I don't love how it feels. Then moving up the tongue, you see that Jumpman Jordan tag that runs vertically down the middle of the tongue. And at the very top, unlike a lot of other Jordan brand shoes, there's no like Jumpman branding. It's just blank. I think the Jordan 11 tongue looks great. And of course, it has the Jordan 11 tag inside the tongue. Quality basketball products inspired by the greatest player ever. And this one is actually red text on red Jumpman that is different, I believe, than the 1996 OG bread, which had the white text. Now the laces here does come with like red lace tips. I think that looks great. The bread colorway overall, just how it works together with that white on the shoe as well. Delicious. Even the lace tips looks really good with the rest of the black on the shoe. And the shoe does come with just black laces out of the box. No extra laces, just black. I think white would look pretty good on this shoe as well, just to offset the darkness of this color. Even red laces, I think that'll pop too, but if I had to choose, black laces would be about $230. The fact that they don't give you at least one set of extra laces, wild. Just wild. And on the booty of the shoe, you see number 23 on the heel tab. That is pretty normal for a Jordan 11. It is like the Jordan 11 Gratitudes, where it was like its own like solid piece. It's not like just printed on the back of the shoe. And then on the lateral side of the heel, you see that Jumpman. That is like its own piece. It's like got this acrylic reflective type of aesthetic to it. So it's kind of shiny and it is facing the right direction. Remember the 2006 DMPs that came with a Jumpman on one of the shoes that faces the other way. Looked kind of off, but they did fix it in the most recent Jordan 11 DMPs. The Jumpman on these are facing the right direction as well. Now the shoe does come with a Phylon midsole with full-length Nike Air, as well as a full-length carbon fiber shank. So pretty good tech specs. It is pretty old still. Like Phylon is not the best cushioning, especially in 2024 compared to like Cushlon 3.0. I think you really feel the difference. It still is used in some shoes, but I'm not going to play ball in the 11s. So overall tech specs, I think for a shoe that came out before 2000, I think it's pretty good. And the 11s is actually the last time they used Nike Air instead of Zoom Air. Starting from Jordan 12s, they moved to Zoom Air. So it is kind of the end of an era. And of course, you see this translucent red outsole. It is a beautiful, delicious Michelin star rated outsole. I love the colors that is used on this 11 outsole. It is just fantastic. Of course, you see the carbon fiber as well as the Jumpman kind of poking through. Works with the herringbone as well, red, white, and black with the carbon fiber. Can't get much better than that. Now, a nice surprise for $230, it better come with pretty nice insoles. So it does come with a polyurethane insole. It's like the Bred 4 reimagined. So I do like that. It does feel pretty nice. Molds to your feet the more you wear it. So it does add slightly more comfort to the shoe. And the box of the shoe, pretty standard Jordan box. Paper inside has 23 all over. That is, again, pretty standard for a woman's exclusive. Now moving on to sizing and comfort, I am a wide and flat footer for Jordan 11s. It's tough. It is a comfortable shoe like under feet. I think the Phylon as well as the full length carbon fiber as well as full length Nike Air, that all works pretty well. It's still pretty flat to the ground, but for casual use, I think under your feet doesn't give me too many problems. But as a wide footer, especially my left foot, it is slightly wider than my right. The way the shape of the shoe is kind of hurts my pinky, like the way it kind of just tilts inwards ever so slightly. I have the same problems with the Jordan 11 Gratitudes from last year. It does kind of hurt my pinky after a while, after a few hours wearing them. So I don't love it, but when I go up half a size, it is too much length and it just feels kind of loose with a bit of heel slippage. So there's no perfect solution for a wide footer. I think if you don't have wide feet, I definitely recommend sticking true to size. If you do have wide feet, I recommend trying this shoe on in person if you can. But if I had to go with one, true to size or go up half a size, I'd probably go up half a size, even though it might look too big, even though there might be too much room on the toe box area lengthwise, but at least it gives the pinky a bit of pain relief after a few hours of wearing. Apart from that though, I like the cushioning around the ankles. The tongue is pretty soft as well. Pretty lightweight shoe. Overall, if you can get the sizing correct, I think it's a pretty decently comfortable shoe. And that brings the total sole score of the Jordan 11 Bred Velvet to 28 out of 40. Pretty average score compared to other general releases. Now first, it is colorway. The Bred colorway is one of my favorites. The only reason why this is not 10 out of 10 is because the materials used does give this Bred colorway a slightly different look, like maybe not far away, but up close, you can see it's not as, I don't know, as crisp as like the ballistic nylon mesh with that patent leather. That obviously has a more reflective look. So it's not 10 out of 10 because I think that original Bred just looks very nice on this material. Not as nice, but still, to me, pretty elite. Now, in terms of materials, again, I will say I'm not like a velvet expert, but just to the touch, just feeling it, I don't love how it feels. I don't feel like I'm getting like $230 worth of premium quality materials, but that is pretty normal on Jordan brand shoes, not just this shoe. Now, in terms of comfort, this is a bit more personal to me just because of my wide, fat foot. So the pinky toe area is not the most comfortable when I go true to size, but if you get your sizing correct, and if you don't have deformed, ugly fat feet like mine, I think this is a very comfortable shoe. Old tech specs, but in terms of the cushioning as well as the relative weight of the shoe, it is pretty light still. Even though it's an old shoe, I think it's decent for casual use. If you can withstand like a Jordan 4 or a Jordan 1, you definitely have no problems with a Jordan 11. And in terms of the versatility of the shoe, I think the 11s have crossed over into like mainstream appeal, where it doesn't look like too much like a basketball shoe. And the Bred colorway is super wearable as well. Materials though, it's not really for everybody. Like some people might think this is a super wearable material. Personally, I don't think it's as wearable as like just leather, nubuck, suede. It's kind of similar to suede, I guess, but objectively, if I had to say, the wearability, because of the materials, it's not like quite 10 out of 10. But overall, still a very versatile looking shoe. Silhouette is easy to wear. The colors, super easy to wear. There have been a lot of reimaginings of classic Jordan brand shoes, and usually I'm pretty open-minded about it. I don't mind like swapping on some materials for another one just to give it a more refreshed and new look, as long as it looks good. But even though this is not the first time that velvet has been used on the 11s, I don't know, on the Bred 11s, for whatever reason that I can't quite articulate and put into words, this is like the subjective nature of shoes. where sometimes you don't know why you dislike or really love a particular set of shoes, but for whatever reason, I just don't think the Velvet works that well for this colorway on this shoe. I may not be the target audience, not the target demographic. It is a woman's exclusive after all. So at the end of the day, this is just my opinion. That is not like an objective measure. Yeah, I think it's nice, but I don't love it. I definitely would prefer the original form of the 11 Breds. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Soul Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Air Jordan 11 Bred Velvet. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.